Okay, we are live. Welcome to the stream. Welcome to the pregame. Welcome to the watch party. We are doing Nets Hornets right here, right now. Should be a really good game of basketball because we have someone very important returning and someone who's also been ruled out that's very important to the law. Cam Thomas is back. Cam Thomas is back, ladies and gents. He is coming off the bench, though, which is a little bit of a letdown. As you can see, the starting five for the opposition and then the starting five for the Nets right here. It's the same as the last game. Starting five right there. Cam Thomas is back. But out, as you can see, Dennis Smith is out, and has been for weeks. But the other important absence is that one. Royce O'Neal is out. So I think it's a good day because, O'Neal out and Cam Thomas back. It is the first day of summer if you're in Australia, which is awesome. What's behind the interest in Ben's threads? Oh, yeah. Apparently I have to do a drip check, so that's we'll give regular updates. Royce O'Neal is out though. That is just the best news that could have possibly been provided. I was trying to get Coldplay tickets this morning, was unsuccessful because I was a little bit of an idiot in the queue. But this has really brightened up the vibe to my day. O'Neal is out. Cam Thomas is back. So many good news on that front. Cam Thomas is coming off the bench though. He's on a minutes restriction, so they're playing a little bit conservative there, which is, I don't blame them one bit. So that is that really. Christmas came early, indeed it did. Those who have just rocked up, welcome to the stream. I hope you're all doing fine and dandy. We've got some interesting things to talk about in today's pregame, and there are some very good accounts to follow on Twitter, which I get a lot of these quotes from. There also was a recent interview by JJ Redick with Cam Thomas on the Old Man and the Three podcast. So I reckon you should watch. There's a little snippet. I don't think the full thing is out. It may be out on Apple Podcasts or something like that. But Cam Thomas talked about the idea of like the mentality of being ready to go, ready to play. And then obviously that moment never came. Like that was a very common thing to happen in his first couple of seasons in the league. But obviously he's overcome that now, playing much more consistent team basketball. So, wow, that voice crack was disgusting. My goodness, I need a drink of water after that one. So, yeah, that was an interesting listen. There's also a number of key stats to look at. It's going to be very interesting to see who is the starting five when Cam Thomas actually starts, because that's what you would assume. Spencer Dinwiddie's had a really, really good period of time. Why have some of the stats not changed? That's weird. Anyway. So an interesting stat to note, with Spencer Dinwiddie in the last 9 games when Cam Thomas has been out, and Ben Simmons also, Dinwiddie's got like a 4 assist to turnover ratio, which is really good, and he's averaging 7 assists a game, so that's under 2 turnovers for every 7 assists he gets. So that's really good. And the more interesting thing this season is that we lead the league in rebounds per game. And that's something incredibly unprecedented going into the season because it didn't look like we had a big. But what has been emphasized, gang rebounding, a fair bit of teamwork and communication on that front. 7 players, we're the only team in the league for 7 players to average 5 rebounds in a game this season. It's Ben Simmons, Claxton, Sharp, who plays limited minutes, Mikal Bridges, Cam Johnson, Doe, and Royce O'Neal. So all the wings getting involved in that regard. So that's incredibly, good for us. Another key stat is that in the last 10 seasons, we've only started, 10-8, or better twice in the last 10 years. So obviously a chance to reach that mark today, which is going to be incredibly important. All 5 starters with 8 or more rebounds on Tuesday versus Toronto, the first time in franchise history that's happened as well. So we're getting some really good contributions with players out, and players really are just stepping up. Without Cam Thomas, we were 5-4. We had a net positive, a positive net rating of 1.9. Had a winning record in that time as well. We were aided by the schedule, but that being said, you take what you get given, and we have well and truly capitalized on that run of games that we needed to win, and those oppositions that we've played that are visibly weaker. So yeah, let me know your thoughts on what the season has brought so far, because I find that very interesting to hear from from a Nets fan perspective. What's your take on the season thus far? We're 9-8. Had a lot of injuries. There's been some close games. There's been some games that have been letdowns, but we haven't really had a game where we've had an absolute stinker. Like, there have been games where we've been blown out, but we've gone into the game as heavy underdogs, like the Boston game, the Philly game even, where we never seem to match up well against them. The only game is probably the Hawks game, because we were entering that game refreshed and the Hawks weren't, and we gave away 40-something points in the opening quarter. So that was probably the biggest letdown of the season, and the fact we couldn't capitalize on bad shooting performances by Atlanta. But that being said, that wasn't a bad performance. We had 4 players score 20 or more points. So there's been games every time this year, nearly every game this year, where the effort and the heart have never been missing. It's just the lack of firepower at times. But we've got Cam Thomas returning off the bench. That is the scoring punch we need, which is it's going to be good to watch. I do think Nic Claxton is also leading the league for blocks per game. He's been awesome in that regard. That rim protection is something we value. He's averaging 3 a game since his return. He had 4 the other night. So that's another key facet of our game that I think with Claxton back in the team, we're improving in. We only conceded 103 points against the Raptors. I mean, they never got going, and we never did as well. But, there was that stage of the game where we needed to rack up the points to even have a chance of getting the in-season tournament rewards. And unfortunately, we fell short, left our run too late. But that being said, it was good to witness a team playing right to the end, even though we were up by about 12 or 13 points. So this one, I imagine, is not too far away from starting, actually. Let me get to the main screen. I wouldn't imagine it's too far away. So pop the headset on, and that's when you know it's go time. So let me get that lined up. So the starting lineup for the Hawks, in case you missed it, is Dinwiddie, Bridges, Johnson, Finney-Smith, Claxton. For the Hornets, Rozier, McGowans is starting because Brandon Miller is out. Hayward, Bridges, Williams. There is no Lamelo Ball either. So that's incredibly positive for our chances of chances of winning. And Cam Thomas has returned, ladies and gents. So we've got that to get excited about. Given the injuries, I'm super happy with the season thus far. When we have the chance to put our best 5 on the floor, who knows what we can achieve. I think we are the great unknown. I think that's probably the best way to put it, because we've never seen this team at full strength. We have, but for one game, and that was against a Cavalier team, which, we probably should have won that game, where we went into the final 2 minutes in control and just blew it at the end. So anyway, first quarter of this Hornets, and Nets matchup. The tip is won by the Hornets, and we are underway in the first quarter of this Thursday morning, Wednesday night matchup. No, it's Thursday night, Friday morning. So Hayward, imagine he'd have a fair bit of responsibility today. Bridges for three. It's off, and a rebound by Cam Johnson. So Dinwiddie will handle the rock for our first offensive set. Bridges retrieves the handoff, gets into the mid-range, shoots over Williams, and that was heavily short. Hopefully just removing a little bit of rust. To start this game, Rozier, the mid-range pull-up is off, and a rebound for Bridges. Finney-Smith on the wing will hand it off to Johnson. Another screen set by Claxton, which he uses. The mid-range is off, and that one was halfway down as well. So 1 minute in, no score. Thus far, both teams with 2 misses to their names. Bridges will drive down the middle. Hayward, one more for McGowan's. I think we'll be happy to let him shoot that, but he knocks down the 3 and gets the game underway for scoring. So decent start for the Hornets. I mean, obviously scoring the first bucket is always beneficial. That one rims out by Finney-Smith. That was another occurrence of it being halfway down, and now the Hornets can take an early little lead after we've missed our first 3 shots. Rozier to Hayward on the catch. The 3 is good, and they are up 6. So good early start for the Hornets, and Dinwiddie will drive. Well held up by Williams, who's playing drop coverage. Dinwiddie, the spin in the paint, doesn't get the bounce. Rebound Williams. Hornets can go on an early quarter run. Hayward, that was absolutely skied. And it's going to go out of play. And it will be Nets ball. There is not a lot of people in the crowd, at least on the lower decks. Dinwiddie to Bridges. High screen Claxton. Skip pass to Johnson, corner 3. It's short. He gets his own rebound, gets into the paint and scores for 2. And we're underway for the Nets scoring. And they've missed quite a few shots early on, and quite a few makeable shots actually. But it's always good to see the first one go down. Bridges the bounce pass to Rozier in the corner, forced into a pass. Bridges will get it top of the key, and that is way too open. And the Hornets have opened with 3 3-pointers. They made 3 of their 4. So that's where the scoring's arriving at the moment in the first 3 minutes. Bridges into the paint, the wraparound for Claxton, and the reverse jam for 2. Not even looking at the basket, just a bit of spatial awareness. And now Rozier will look to respond for the Hornets. McGowan's fakes the handoff, gets into the paint, extra feed to Williams, body bump, layup, and we thought there was a travel on the bench, but the referees shed a blind eye, and the Hornets up 11-4. Dinwiddie to Bridges, high screen Clax into the paint. Bridges bounce pass to Finney-Smith. He will get by the closeout, give it back to Bridges, who relocated to the corner. It's off. Claxton, the rebound, the hook shot, gets the bounce, and that is 2 buckets so far for the Nets on the back of offensive rebounds. Good signs there. Bridges to Hayward, had to go fetch it. The high screen by Williams on the perimeter, the 3 by Hayward, and that is hitting back iron. So a rebound Nets. Dinwiddie will get a screen set for him, and now a switch will see McGowan's picking up Dinwiddie. Dinwiddie swings it to the corner. Finney-Smith for 3. Oh, he got the bounce. Yes, sir. Love to see it. And now the Hornets. Well, good start by them, but they've shot a lot of 3s. So once the shots don't fall, they may have a few issues. Another steal for the Nets. First of the game, actually. Bridges transition 3. It's good. Falling away. And it is the first lead of the game for the Nets. 12-11. 8-0 run in 1 minute. And it's come off the back of some bad shot selection for the Hornets. And, well, we've gotten a couple of steals here. So, Hayward. High screen again. Has Johnson on the back shoulder. Claxton knocked it away, and another steal for Finney-Smith. He gets it ahead to Bridges. Drive, shot off the window. He scored. He wanted a whistle. He's not going to get it. But regardless, you're seeing the effect of fast break points and forcing them turnovers. 10-0 run in 90 seconds. And it's a 14-11 lead. Good early offense for Bridges in the last couple of possessions. McGowan's goes baseline and scores over Dinwiddie. So 14-13, nearly at the halfway point of this first quarter. It's been pretty free-flowing. We haven't had a timeout yet, and barely any stoppages. That's a great find by Bridges, and sniper out there is Cam Johnson for 3. So, man, that's a great find by Bridges. I mean, a lot of the Hornets players had committed to the baseline, and Johnson was open on the wing. Not a Hornet in sight. And now McGowan's to Rozier. Pass to McGowan's. 2 to shoot. Bridges. Layup. It's off. Claxton. Good presence. But somehow Williams got the rebound. And we're going to get a timeout. Claxton is slow to get up, but he's good. And I think JV was taking the timeout more out of precaution, but a good start by the Nets. That was a bit of a letdown, that last sequence there where we forced the miss. It was a good presence by Claxton, and the shot clock had wound down, so we did well there, but didn't have the reinforcements under the basket. Did I mention Ben yet? I haven't seen Ben on the broadcast, so I can't comment. If you are enjoying thus far, make sure to show your support and drop a like on it and subscribe if you are new as well. We will be back in a couple of days for Nets Magic. And a fun fact, I thought we had a 9-day hiatus after that Magic game, but it turns out that time was like a little bit more of a rolling fixture, because we ended up getting 2 games scheduled for next week, Atlanta and Washington. It was a very big brain play by the Nets, because we went from potentially playing Boston and Milwaukee in the knockout stages of this tournament to playing Atlanta and Washington in regular season games. So 2 games that we can win. There's a real opportunity here. You know, we win this game, then we play Orlando. That's winnable because we've beaten them before, despite their win streak that they've been on. I think they're 9 of their last 10 wins. Those have been wins. And then, you know, it'll be Atlanta and Washington before we go on that West Coast trip. So there's an opportunity to go 10-8, 11-8, 12-8, 13-8. It's very, very possible. Obviously Orlando are a better team. They're not as much of a pushover as they have been in previous years. So interesting stuff. Finney-Smith's defense is great. It is great. He's been pretty good. He's been pretty good thus far. And there's been quite a few discussions around potentially him being involved in trade talks. I don't think that's going to be... I don't think there's much credibility to that, as is the case with many rumors. I can see Royce getting traded because he's an unrestricted free agent at the end of the year, and you want to cash in on a player that 2 contending teams would be pretty valuable or perceived as valuable. So, yeah, that's where I sit with that. We will look at the box score soon, but not for the moment, because I reckon we let the game pan out a little bit more. Alrighty. So 6 minutes to play in the first quarter, and we see Cam Thomas for the first time in, well, weeks, not months, but I think it was about a month. So CT is in, Dinwiddie remains in, so the first man to the bench is, well, here is Cam. Bridges 3 on the wing. Thought he was fouled. Dayron gets the rebound. Foul +1. Dayron has been so good in recent memory. Probably last game aside, because he was getting absolutely spit roasted with the lineup he was involved with. Dayron's really good at getting the position, that consistent positioning right at the edge of the restricted area. He's either pushing players under the basket so they get trapped, or he's got them on his back shoulder, so he's got the prime position. What? There's a technical. Mikal Bridges got a technical foul. I don't even know what the tech is for. We're going to have to see what's going on here because Hayward's just made a free throw. Let's just have a look at what the hell the tech is for. You're kidding, that's a tech. You are kidding, that's a tech. He barely did anything demonstrative. Barely did anything demonstrative. They're so in their feelings, it's ridiculous. Dayron can't make the free throw, so Ish Smith, verified Nets killer, is in. And PJ Washington is also in. So a bit crazy he's coming off the bench again because he had a really good start to the year, I feel. Washington, high screen, swings it to the corner for McGowan's and he's knocked it down. So that's been a smooth looking 3-point jumper from him thus far in this game. Cam Thomas playing a bit of off ball at the moment. Here he is now on cue. High screen by his draft class mate in Dayron. The mid-range is good and he picks up where he left off. So he just makes it look so effortless. It's pretty crazy. McGowan's, it's a good closeout by Cam Thomas. Extra feed. Williams the jam for 2, and he wanted a foul as well. And I reckon he had a good case for it because I reckon he may have been hit on that right arm. Thomas into the paint, shoots another mid-range, and he knocks it down again. Bro, he makes me... He actually gives me joy. The same way that KD did for just portraying that same level of brilliance that he just kept surprising. And Cam Thomas sort of has that same kind of impact. Dinwiddie again. We started the game 2 of 8. We are now 8 of 9 since that point. Here is Thomas again. Another mid-range from the elbow. It's off. Oh! Finney Smith, the putback jam. And that was completely unprecedented. I didn't know he had hops like that. And he also wanted a foul, but that's going to be another unsuccessful plea. We have already had 8 second chance points. Watford getting ready to check in because there is no Royce O'Neal tonight. It's a good day. Hayward on the wing will send it to Washington, who will drive and kick it out. And that is a wayward pass to the left of Ish Smith. And it will be a turnover. So we're being pretty decent at, well, causing the Hornets to sort of panic a little bit. Getting in the wrong sort of places, like tougher places to execute a pass. And we have been the beneficiaries of that more often than not. Watford comes in for Dinwiddie, who now goes to the bench for his first stint on the side. And Watford can facilitate. Dayron looked like he was going to pass it out of Cam, but he takes it himself, puts the ball on the floor and scores over Mark Williams. So Dayron doing good things. Really good things. That was a nice, nifty move for a big man. And he's looked like he's cleaned up his play recently. Ish Smith, Doe reads it, saved it as he hit the scorer's table. And what is going on? I mean, the broadcast camera was lagging behind. I think they were equally starstruck with that Finney Smith defensive play, who is now rubbing his leg. But that's a great save by Doe. He's had some really good moments early on. He's been on the end of those deflections by the Nets. Thomas has been fouled by Ish Smith. It's going to be 2 free throws. So CT really, really doing well early on in this game. Really, really doing well. So if you are enjoying thus far, make sure to show your support and drop a like on it and subscribe as well. That'd be much appreciated. Cheers. Peanuts on the Jets for the $5. I appreciate you for that. Absolutely didn't have to do that. Which bridge is better, Brooklyn and Mikal, or Manhattan and Miles? Well, it's got to be Brooklyn Bridges, man. Got to be Brooklyn Bridges. I mean, being an Aussie, I don't really have a love for landmarks the same way that some other New Yorkers might. So, 100% Mikal is that guy. Is that guy. Thanks for the dono, though. Cam Thomas is going to take on Washington 1-on-1. Step back deep 2. Oh! Get out of here. This guy's ridiculous, bro. He's just come back and it looks like he's never left. He's already scored, I think, 9 or 8 points. Rozier responds with a deep 2 of his own, but so refreshing when he scores the difficult shots. Like, this is a player you can properly appreciate for the difficult shots. Here he is again. Hit back iron. Dayron chases up the rebound. Thor had his hands on it, but wasn't able to secure. And now Watford, he's open for 3, sets the feet, and that hit back iron. Rozier nearly lost the ball after getting a rebound, and Doe was right there, but they resurface, and Rozier is fouled. So we're going to get a timeout. It's 31-25, and I'm really excited for this because I put Cam Thomas in the spotlight because I know he loves it. I know he loves the spotlight. He's already leading the way for the Nets scoring-wise. We will go back to the Hornets in just a moment, but Cam Thomas, man, 8 points already. You love to see it. He's also got a rebound, so that's also good. And we're shooting the ball well. You can see starting the game well from the field in 3 after a bit of a slow start. We haven't turned the ball over yet. Bridges has missed a few shots, but we're getting some really good contributions in there. I mean, nearly everyone scored a point. Dinwiddie has done a really good job at sort of, facilitating but not overdoing it. He's been the guy that always brings the ball up and gets it past half court, but he's doing a good job of surveying the floor and getting it to the right guys to execute those sets. So it's been good already. The 3 steals as well. And then the 5 offensive rebounds. That's a big number for me. That's why we've got the lead in this first quarter. It's really doing us a lot of favors. I mean, we've already had 8 more shots than the Hornets. They've hit 4 threes. McGowan's has been an interesting source of offense for them. He's leading the way with Mark Williams. And as it currently stands, they don't have any bench points. We have not seen Lonnie Walker play yet. I also think, well, look at those turnovers. 5 turnovers for the Hornets. Those are 2 really important stats. Looking at the amount of turnovers they've had in comparison to us, and then looking at the amount of offensive rebounds. Those 2 key areas have given us 8 shots extra. And in a game where, the Hornets are shorthanded, that is absolutely something they can't afford. Because that's something that's going to really put us in a great position to get the job done. Cam feels like a 2K player. He does, man. He does. I'm gonna have a guess that Ben is wearing something Kareem might have worn in 75. Probably, man. I mean, NBA players think they have to go with the most bizarre thing possible, and that's called fashion. Cam Thomas is right next to Maxey when it comes to future stardom in the league. Well, those 2 are probably the players that are in dispute for that coveted most improved appearance. So yeah, that's probably the It's a great point to argue, I would say. Because I mean, they've both been equally good in their own rights. Rozier makes the first. He was fouled prior to the timeout, so it'll be 2 shots for him. He made the first. And the second is good, so 27-31. Nets lead, and we're in the final 2 minutes. Nets on the floor. Bridges, Watford, Sharp, Walker, Cam Thomas. It's a good bench unit. It's a really good bench unit. We have a foul, and it is going to be on, I think, Rozier. Never mind, it's Ish Smith. He's already got 3 personal fouls, and I mean, the more time he spends off the floor, the better, because he always just decides to play well against us. There's been games like where he's played for the Hornets, the Wizards, where he's just been an absolute pain in the ass to deal with. He's always going to score like 16 on efficiency that is unheard of against the Nets. We got to shoot, and that's going to be a turnover instead. First one of the game. Good defense by the Hornets. Made us wind down the shot clock to the absolute fine margins, and then we threw it out of play with the, given Bridges was in panic stations there. Cam Thomas is playing really good defense this season. It's like worlds apart, man. Like, he is not getting bypassed. He's holding his own. Laterally looks better. Help defense looks better. The Hornets just turned it over again because Bridges got shoved away by PJ Washington on that drive. Even though he did convert the floater, it was cancelled out. Now Cam Thomas, picked up by Nick Smith Jr., who's in the game, the rookie. Bridges, oh, that's a nifty move. Excuse me. All right, so good back end of the quarter for the Nets. Nick Smith, I feel like he's a bit trigger happy, that guy. Washington shoots the 3 instead, and lives up to that name, and that's off. Watford. Oh, wow. He's also another guy. I mean, they love him, Claxton. They love faking a good handoff. That's another foul on Watford this time. And Day'Ron Sharpe did block the ball, so that's an opportunity wasted because we had that one covered. But yeah, faking the handoff. I mean, Bridges is good on handoffs. Watford is good at faking handoffs. So is Claxton. Even Day'Ron Sharpe, I think, has experimented a few times with it. We love that play. So after a slow start, the Nets have blown up to 35 points in the opening quarter on the back of getting these stops and being able to run the break more often than not. A make here by Bridges. Yep. Means the lead is cut down to 6. So Cam Thomas lets the ball roll, pulls up for 3, 2-for-1 execution. Nope. Rebound by Rozier, and that's a very strong take because Bridges obviously has the size and the wingspan, and that was his direct assignment. So if you concede a score here, that execution of the 2-for-1 instantly looks like a big mistake, or attempted execution. That is a foul, and I don't know who it's on. It's on Bridges. Bodies were sprayed all over the floor. Nope, it's Day'Ron with the foul. So, what? Why is the foul called on Day'Ron? If they've called that as a push on Day'Ron, that is the softest foul I've ever seen. That's a flop of high proportions. That's a free throw made by Washington, and CJ's back in for offense. Day'Ron will go to the bench. I can't see the Ben drip check. Ben's wearing all black. Looks a bit more of a 90s fit, to be honest. So, not quite 75 to your point, but it's actually pretty good drip. He's kept it simple this time, which I like. Bridges, Watford, 6 to shoot, 4 to shoot, Bridges, layup, got it! 1.6 to play. Rozier will not get the shot up in time. That'll be ruled out, and he actually nearly made it. So that's the quarter done and dusted. Both teams exceed 30 points, but it is the Nets on top going into the second, 37-31, and Cam Thomas has had a great return in this first quarter. Let's go down to the box score and suss out what the deal is. Cam Thomas has got 8 on return. We're not shooting the ball well from 3, but I mean, once we get into the paint, it is absolute curtains. We are 13 of 19 inside the arc. Haven't gotten to the free throw line nearly enough, but it's good we've only had the 1 turnover, so we're getting as many shots as humanly possible, especially with those 5 offensive rebounds. Mikal Bridges is leading the way scoring-wise with 9, but we've had good contributions everywhere, and I do expect Claxton and Johnson to be refreshed in this second quarter because they've only played the 6 minutes. Dayron's played 6, so I wouldn't imagine he plays too many more in this first half. For the Hornets, they have had 11 less shots, but they have had 5 more free throws. They're getting out-rebounded by only 1, even though we've had the 5 offensive boards, which is an interesting stat, an interesting figure. It's probably because we've had more shots than them, so obviously more misses. The 6 turnovers is really doing them in at the moment. They've only had 2 bench points, but yeah, the free throws are keeping them well and truly alive. Mark Williams and Bryce McGowan's, who's come into the game for Brandon Miller as a starter, has done really well in this first quarter, and every starter for the Hornets has scored. So it's been a decent quarter for them, even though they've shipped off 37 points. You would expect that if they can clean that side of the game up, they'll be okay. But as it currently stands, 37-31, Nets got a good lead. If you are enjoying the stream thus far, make sure to drop a like on it and subscribe as well. We'll be back for the next stream, which will end up being the Nets Magic in a couple of days' time, so that'll be good. And that'll be a really good game because the Magic are on an absolute tear at the moment. So if we can knock them off, then you can take us a little bit more seriously. So a good start today was important. We didn't come out the gate complacent. No Lamelo Ball, no Brandon Miller for the Hornets. We are missing O'Neal, Dennis Smith, and Dennis Smith, Royce O'Neal, Ben Simmons, but Cam Thomas is back, making an impact just there, right on cue. +1. Excellent little cut to the basket, and he had the Hornet on his back shoulder. He just needed to initiate a little bit of contact, and he was able to do so, manipulate that positioning, and score as he fell to the ground. Got the and 1 to go, and he's already got 10 points off the bench, and he misses the and 1 free throw. So we've had a couple of those and haven't converted. Nets of 24 points in the paint. That is a staggering number to start, and we have a foul. It looked like it was going to be an offensive foul, but instead it's going to be deemed a blocking foul on Watford or Cam Thomas, one or the other. So CJ starts the second with Claxton. Dinwiddie hasn't seen time for a bit. With Cam Thomas back, we have a very, very good guard rotation. Walker, Dinwiddie, Cam Thomas. Everywhere you look, there is threat. That is a miss in the corner by JT Thor, and the Nets get a rebound. Watford fakes the handoff again. The spin in the paint. He scores again, man. So good. What a good move. We've got players all over the court who are capable of making an impact. Bridges, layup is good. Good separation created. A little bit of a push-off on Watford. Good to go. Cam Thomas gets in the paint. Kick out to Johnson. Good facilitation. The 3 was off, though. Johnson couldn't honor the pass. And now Rozier, the Euro, and the score. So Rozier, that's going to be his responsibility today. He's had some really good games against the Nets in the past as well. That's another foul. It's on JT Thor this time. And Claxton was the guy that drew that one. So just a little bit of a hold on the roll action, and it will be inbounded on the side through CJ. He's going to look for Claxton, and he gets it to him now. Johnson gets it back. Drive. Pass to absolutely no one. It was deflected. It's now a 3-on-3 fast break, but we do not have the numbers, and Bridges, we did have the numbers. We just didn't have the size to combat, and the lead's cut down to 4, so you can't afford those turnovers. A couple turnovers bridging the back end of the first and the start of the second. we've been punished for it. Cam Thomas, the step back 2, that one's off. So he's missed his last couple. Rozier will cross and not do anything with that crossover. Now the screen and switch. Oh, wow. Rozier, that is just a saucy move. And we're going to get a timeout because that is just... That's a tough shot, that one. And you know what? All credit to Terry Rozier because that was an absolutely nasty move. Watford was on skates there. So, as you can see, the Hornets shooting the ball really well, as much as they can. Yeah, they're shooting it basically lights out. That's why they're in this game. There's no two ways about it. 6 turnovers. Even despite that, they are moving the ball well. Terry Rozier's had a really good start to this second quarter. He's leading the way now with 9 points. They are leading 9-4 in this quarter points-wise. Cam Thomas, the first net in double figures, the first player in double figures. But we are shooting it marginally worse. Have hit less threes, and we haven't gotten to the free throw line nearly enough. It's the turnovers and the offensive rebounds which are sort of compensating for, the scoring that's sort of a little bit worse off than the Hornets, but got plenty of faith. Missing in season tournament thoughts. I'm happy with it. I did mention this pre-game. It is a big brain play that we have gone from not playing or potentially playing Boston and Milwaukee to playing Atlanta and Washington. So it's pretty good that we're gonna get these very winnable games going into that Western Conference road trip. Probably in the second or third week. No, it's the second week of December. So there is a really good opportunity here for the team to capitalize on a little bit of an easier part of the schedule. We've had top 3 toughest schedules in the entire league. So the fact that we're sitting at 500 is a great sign. We haven't played like a Detroit. We've only played the Wizards once. We've played the Bulls a couple times. In the West, we haven't really played any weak teams yet. The Spurs, the Warriors. There's some interesting sort of teams to play. Like there's not last year or years before you would have said, okay, see are a walkover kind of team. Minnesota, or not so much Minnesota, but Orlando. There's some teams in there that, in the past we would have said they're absolute walkovers. Houston are playing really well under Ime Udoka. So yeah, it's a good chance. It's a really good chance to solidify the wins or those wins in the win column. Here is Walker going to drive. That's a foul, and he couldn't get the angle. Nick Smith had put him off just enough, even though he had fouled him. This is so weird, right? Because Iron Eagle's son is broadcasting or doing the commentary, the play-by-play on Saturday or whenever the next game is against the Magic. It's going to be like I'm hearing, like I'm going to be tripping out so bad because I'll be like, I recognize that voice, but there's a weird younger twang to it. It's going to be so confusing, dude. And they look the same as well, man. His son looks like a younger version of Iron. It's pretty crazy. Oh, that's a good alley-oop lob. Bridges couldn't get it to go. It was a good find. Bridges just probably was a little bit too ferocious, and Johnson in transition hits the 3. So after Walker split the pair and Bridges blew the alley-oop dunk, the Nets capitalized with a 3-pointer from the outside, and now Rozier has Claxton on him. And this is a matchup I like. A good switch. Rozier's short on it, but Walker isn't even trying to get the rebound, and the Hornets were a little bit more assertive, so they will recycle and go again. It's Rozier, the screen set, the pass to Smith, top of the key tray is good. and that is way too open. Walker had a bit of a stinky possession there because didn't really show any knack or willingness or ambition to get that rebound, and then is the guy responsible for conceding that three. Dinwiddie 1-on-1. He has only taken one shot. He tries the scoop, and he was able to score over Washington, so a smart move there by Dinwiddie. Pretty skillful. This is a very high-scoring matchup, and I'm enjoying it. Very entertaining. We're not seeing too many misses. We're seeing a fair bit of pace and space. Rozier down the middle. Swings it out to Washington, who's open, and he knocks down the three. That's another one hit, and we aren't even 4 minutes into the second quarter, and both teams have nearly converted, 50 points. Johnson's open, and the easy response, there is the 50 points for the Nets, and the offense is flying. The defense, as we've seen on many occasions this year, is absolutely stinking up the gaff right now. Rozier on the baseline. He's off. Get the rebound. We do. It's Walker who skies in for it. And now he's going to hand it off to Johnson. And he will swing it across to Dinwiddie on the left wing. Claxton in the paint. The spin. He was pushed off. Managed to keep the feet planted. And it's going to be a timeout called by Steve Clifford. And, I mean, they've got no answers on the defensive side of the ball, the Hornets. We do. Well, a few more times than the Hornets. I mean, both teams are shipping off points for fun, but it's just the fact that we've gotten a few more stops, which is awesome. Some stops would be nice. Yeah, I mean, both teams have the same sort of mantra and attitude, I think, in this game, because it's just not happening for either team on the defensive side of the ball. You can see we're shooting it at 61% from the field. And the Hornets, you'd think, would be getting blown out in a game like this. We're shooting at 42% from three. We're nearly shooting it, we are shooting it better from the field on, 36 attempts to the 6 free throws we've had. We're shooting it better from the field. That is baffling to me. Cam Johnson leads the way for points with 11. But the Hornets, I mean, they're shooting at nearly 60%. From both the field and three as well. It's just the turnovers that have put them in the mud and the offensive rebounds they are conceding at the moment. So, yeah, I mean, the free throws keeping them alive, but they've got a really short rotation. A number of key players doing really well for them, though. They've got 4 players with 8 or 9 points. So there's a good even spread. For the Nets, we've got 3 players between 9 points and 11 points. Every player who is, set foot on the court has scored. And look, the efficiency is pretty strong. I mean, Cam Thomas is 4 of 8, so a good return by him. I can't imagine, I don't even know how many minutes he's going to play. But he's provided some really good, efficient minutes in there. I think Finney Smith has been probably one of my favorite players from today's performance thus far with the 2 steals. He's been very active defensively, and Cam Johnson has knocked down the threes that he's been given. A lot of those have been wide open. As an NBA player, you're getting paid $27 million a game, or not a game, mate. Imagine if you were earning $27 million a game. I mean, it'd be enough to go into Silicon Valley and buy some shit, like big crazy numbers. But yeah, Cam Johnson has a role and he's doing a good job of capitalizing when that, opportunity's being given. So yeah, Nets doing well. Nets doing well. If you are enjoying, make sure to drop a like on it and subscribe as well. If you're new, we'll be back in a couple of days' time for Nets versus Magic. Play resumes with Rozier picked up at full court by Dinwiddie. It's Dinwiddie, Finney-Smith, Johnson, Claxton, Walker. So Hayward will bounce past it to Bridges on the perimeter. He's going to look for a pass, and they find Rozier. Now Washington, he is an open 3, and he's going to hit that every day of the week. That is a pretty horrific defensive possession by the Nets. I don't really know what they were doing. Just looked a little bit all over the place. Walker to respond. Yes, sir. They went under the screen and they got punished for it. So back up to 6. And every Hornets point is responded to by the Nets. Hayward. Fake the 3. Was fouled and got it to go +1. So it might as well be a 3. And right now, there is just not a lot going right for either side on this defensive side of the ball. It's just bucket after bucket is occurring. So 6:50 to play. And both teams have exceeded 50 points already. This could be nearly a 70-point quarter or 70-point half for both teams. I mean, it's looking that way. We definitely can score 15 points in 7 or so minutes. Walker, screen by Clax, bit of separation created. The mid-range is off. The rebound is chased up by Hayward. It's good persistence. He goes by himself, created the separation, and scored for 2, falling to the floor. He has made that 2 points purely by himself. That was excellent work. Excellent work by Hayward. And Johnson needed to be better chasing that one up. Hayward just had a little bit more hunger for it, and going downhill against a bunch of players who are more stationary and have to face the brunt of that acceleration, you know, they're going to be in a bit of trouble. So it looks like Bridges is back in. Claxton to Walker in the paint. And he traveled. And Finney Smith hit the 3. So that hurts. And the Hornets, well, they can retake the lead. So turnovers piling up in this second quarter, at least in comparison to that first quarter. Oh, there's Del Curry on the bench, doing the Hornets broadcast, I would suspect. Ish Smith to Nick Smith. Bounce pass to Hayward. Williams is back in the game. Hayward down the middle. Skip pass. It was a good off-ball screen. Finney Smith had to go through it, and Washington was open. He blew the 3, though, and now Dinwiddie will... Oh, my God. Where is he sending that pass, dude? Way too saucy. The pass was on, but Doe wasn't firm enough, and Dinwiddie's pass was too quick. So McGowan's checks back in for the Hornets as well. Bridges, Claxton, Walker, Dinwiddie, Finney Smith, 5 on the floor for the Nets. Hayward walking a tightrope, saved it. McGowan's far out. There's another foul. Try to go baseline there, and Walker was the guy in the way, and he committed a foul. So Dayron will check back in, and Claxton will head to the bench. So 5:42 to play first half, and the ball is inbounded to Williams. They can retake the lead here. They have not had it for quite a while. Here's Hayward. 3 is good, and you knew it as soon as he let it fly, and the Hornets are back in front. So first lead since probably very early on in the first quarter. Dinwiddie, the response 3. It's good. So 58-57, man. This is actually ridiculous. How many threes, how many shots are going to be converted in this game? Hayward, bounce pass to Williams. Doubled. Finney Smith, the block. Bro, I've loved this game today. Bridges, there's a tie-up. And it's just going to be play that continues. Washington is open for 3, except he passed it up and gave it to Ish Smith. Now to Williams in the post, and he's fouled. I don't know where the foul is for that. And Williams has a smile on his face because I think he knows as well that's absolute rubbish. I did not get fouled at all. So it's going to be free throws, I think, for Mark Williams. He can give the Hornets the lead back. And he makes the first. The Hornets have been really good. Really good from the field. But I think we're not doing ourselves much of a service with our coverage defensively. So 58 all. It's good. So, lead back with the Hornets. We're in the final 5 minutes of the first half. In case you missed it, well, Cam Thomas is back. And the fact he's already got 10 points in this game is probably the embodiment of what's going on with this, well, this offensive spurt we've been seeing from both teams in this game. Rozier, push shot is good. And he basically gave Mikal a taste of his own medicine, except Mikal missed it on the previous possession and Rozier scored. Dayron nearly with the Euro. That was a good move for a big man as well. He had the Hornets defense on skates. He was fouled and he was probably a little bit stiff to not convert that and have another opportunity at the free throw line. Bridges was right there for the charge. So a very smart move there. That's a pretty soft call, I reckon. And I'm one who's pretty... Well, I'm obviously a Nets supporter, so I should be siding with the Nets more often than not. Dayron misses the first. Cam Thomas is back in, and to the bench goes... Don't know, because the broadcast isn't really helping me out here. Is it Walker? Dayron makes the second, so it's back down to 2. I mean, we've got to get to the break. We've got to do what we did in the back end of the second quarter last game. We're on a tear to close out the half, and that really gave us the momentum we needed going into the second half. It is Rozier who shoots over CT, and he hits the 3, so they cannot miss at the moment. 64 points already for the Hornets. Can't believe this. Thomas gets through. Skip pass to Bridges. It's a good closeout by Hayward. That's a foul. And he couldn't get the bounce, but the body bump meant free throws were on offer. It's going to be 2 more free throws for Mikal. And the Nets can cut this back down to 3. $61 against Charlotte is criminal. Yeah, it's not a good first half. It is not a good first half. Is Mikal better with CT on the floor? That's another missed free throw. What are we doing at the line, man? So good with it the other day, but today we just cannot make shots at the free throw line, man. Terrible inefficiency. Bridges makes the second, and we enter 60. I will look at halftime to see if Mikal is better with or without Cam Thomas on the floor. Hayward. Bounce pass. Lost by Williams. They somehow regathered it. Now McGowan's to Hayward. The 3 is off. And a rebound by Bridges. So 3:26 to play in this first half. And we can cut into the lead. Dinwiddie. Oh, he got it to go. +1. And they've ruled it out. They ruled it out. What is this bullshit? That is a joke, man. No basket. He's been fouled on the gather. It went... Dude, what is that bullshit? So he's going to have to go to the line and earn the 2. I'm so confident that he's going to get the 2 that I'm not even going to go back to 60. I just reckon he's going to make 2 free throws here. That's in the gather. How was that not a foul on the shot? Dinwiddie makes both, so as expected, never in doubt. But that is bullshit, man. That is bullshit. Okay, Rozier is going to drive. Good rotation by Dayron. Force the pass. Washington. Dayron's there. Force the miss. But unfortunately, yet again, that is the second time this has happened in this game. Williams, just too big, too strong for Finney-Smith, and he got the putback too, even despite the forced miss and good defense by Dayron. CT has Williams on him, and Thomas with the layup switches hands midair, and he scores for 2 more. So CT is just, he's unmatched. Rozier, 2 is off. Get the rebound, And it's Williams who secures. Washington was open. He missed the three. We're very lucky because the Nets are specialists at conceding an offensive rebound and then conceding a three. Thomas is blitzed by 2. Bridges had an open look. He gave it to Finney Smith instead. And then he just threw it away. Like, we had 2 open shots and passed it up twice. Hayward with the finish. Even those old man legs got up. He's not that old, but old enough. Dinwiddie, 3 after using the screen. That's off. I don't understand why we didn't go for the 3, or Mikal passed up a wide open 2. Williams misses, and somehow they've saved it. Rozier again. There we go. What did I say about a possession ago? Concede the offensive rebound, give up the 3. We're down 7. Rozier's got 17, and we've conceded 71 to the Hornets in the first half. Thomas, step back mid-range, tough shot, and he gets it. That is an incredibly difficult make. I mean, Cam Thomas has just been quality, but that scoring edge we had like 8 or 9 extra shots. It's now evened out. Both teams have 44 shots because of all these extra chances they're getting via our turnovers and the inability to box out. Bridges over Finney Smith hits the 3. 74 points, dude. They have hit 12 threes on 60% shooting. Thomas, the response, yes! Bro, is anyone gonna play defense, dude? This is fucked, man. These are the most points we've scored in any half, and we are still losing. Dayron, good steal, read the pass. And now a 3 in the corner for Finney Smith. Sets the feed, it's off. Rebound by no one, but it's off Charlotte. So good work by Dayron. Good persistence on the glass. It's another look at a good possession. We can go for the 2-for-1 instantly, or we can hold for best available shot. We've got 14 to shoot, so we can go one or the other. And I would suspect we're just going to take our time here. There's no need to rush. Cam Thomas waves Dayron away. It's an ISO on Hayward. Shoots a 3 over Hayward. And how did that rim out? It sat up. Looked like it was going to go down. And then just decided last second, yeah, nah. Oh my God. Acceleration by Bridges. Tried an angle that wasn't there. We got 4 to shoot. 1-on-1. Bridges. Rozier. Layup. That's a goaltend. 0.2 seconds to play in the first half, and Bridges converts and capitalizes on that good fast break opportunity there on the back of forcing a steal and or forcing a bad shot, should I say. That is the half. It's 74-71, and my goodness, is someone going to just, get a stop? Is someone going to invest in defense in this game? Because we've just seen 145 points in a half consisting of the Hornets and the Nets. 2 teams that I don't think are very known for, well, scoring the ball this well. 74 points. But man, it looks like Cam Thomas has just picked up right where he left off. He leads the Nets in scoring, and he's got 17 in 12 minutes. This guy's on a minutes restriction, but who gives a damn, because he don't care. It's just like, it's like he never left. It's crazy, man. And we're shooting the ball really well. The only issue is this. You can sort of see it in the top of the box score. The offensive rebounds. We didn't get an offensive rebound in that second quarter. And the Hornets, they have now got 8. They lead the rebounding battle by 6. And our turnovers boosted as well. So it's gone from basically 6 turnovers to 2, Hornets having more, to now 7 turnovers to 5. So the ledger is evened up there. Obviously, the rebounds are now in their favor. The good thing is the free throws now, we've gotten ahead of the curve there. But the problem is 7 of 12 at the line compared to the Hornets who are 10 of 10. Like, that is just, we could have had the lead if we were just a little bit more, what's the word? A little bit more opportunistic. Like Walker should have made his, Thomas should have made his, Dayron probably should have made one more, and Bridges should have made one more. So there you go, you have the lead. The Hornets have just had a point chalked off as well, so that is a huge plus. I don't know where the points were chalked off, but decent first half. Like if we look at things from a scoring perspective, everyone scored. We've got 3 plays in double figures. Obviously, potential for more players to do the same. There's not really like this game's going to be separated by fine margins. And as we've talked about in the first quarter, we had the lead because of the fine margins, which have now got us in the hole that we are currently in. Shooting the ball well, though. I mean, Dorian Finney-Smith has been excellent. He's shooting not too much of the ball, but defensively being incredibly active. And then you've got, well, Dinwiddie's been good at facilitating. I think that's the exact role I would have had him carve out, going into this game. And Claxton, I don't know why that guy's only played 12 minutes. Him and Cam Johnson. I mean, Johnson, obviously a little bit more injury management, but there is no excuse in this first half for Dayron to play the same minutes as Claxton. I have no idea why he's running with that. Because, I mean, Dayron's been pretty good on the offensive glass. It's really a matter of, do you want the rebounds or do you want the defense? I mean, when Claxton is on the floor, defensively, we haven't looked too sharp today. So, no pun intended. So, Dayron Sharp potentially was the answer that they're looking for, just a little bit of a bigger presence to combat Mark Williams. If we look at the Hornets, I mean, they are shooting it ridiculously well from all 3 areas, getting to the line, getting the rebounds. They cut down the turnovers. And ultimately, they scored 42 points in the second quarter. That is abysmal work by us. And we've given away, like, their starting 5 has absolutely cooked. 14 to Hayward, 11 to Bridges, 12 to Williams, who's got 5 offensive rebounds already. Rozier's got 17, and then McGowan's in the first quarter had 8, and he's only played 11 minutes. So PJ Washington's filled the void there, and he's got 2 steals and 2 blocks. So there's some really good work being done by a number of players. For the Hornets. I can't believe that JV hasn't put his pet player in yet. Well, that's because he's injured. I think if he had the choice, he definitely would have him playing. Like, defensively, we've sort of been active, but it's just like the amount of shots they're getting. Like, it is criminal. It is absolutely criminal. If you are enjoying, make sure to drop a like on it and subscribe as well. We'll be back in a couple of days' time for your, well, what you would say is a big match between the Nets and the Magic. If we win today, we're on 10 wins. So that'll be a pretty good start to the season with all things considered. And then obviously a chance to go into next week with a positive record. So yeah, that is the deal. Cam Thomas has been nuts. So look, it's is Claxton out for the game? I don't know, because he did get a knock. But that being said, yeah. Yeah, I don't really know. It's a really weird sort of first half. Like, they didn't even have Brandon Miller or Lamelo Ball. And you know what? That's probably done themselves good. Because, like, Lamelo, I mean, he had a really good run of games after we played him for the first time. But in that game he played us, or the team played us, the Hornets were shooting it so inefficiently. It was sort of baffling to see. And he was sort of stunting their offense. So, yeah. Let's have a look, right? I'm going to go to NBA stats and I'm going to see if I'm good enough, educated enough with the lineups. Have a look. 2-player lineups. Okay, so Look, I don't know if I can find when Mikal is off the floor with Cam Thomas playing, but let me see if I can find Brooklyn Nets. Okay. We're just looking at the best two-player lineups. Mikal Bridges and Cam Thomas is the number 4 best combination. They have a net rating. Oh, no, plus minus. Here we go. Plus minus. Here we go. Cam Thomas. I don't know. I don't think he has a very good net rating with. So Cam Thomas, with a good sample size, Cam Thomas is best with Spencer Dinwiddie. He's got a 5.4 net rating. And then it's Watford, Claxton. Those two have only played one game together, which is sort of staggering if you think about it. Walker is pretty good with. Yeah, that's weird. So there's no Cam Thomas when. Yeah, like Mikal Bridges and Cam, they've got a net rating of 0.1. It looks like. I don't think that's the most effective metric that I've used. So, what do you think we need to do to tighten up our defense? Just we got to. Oh, it's sort of a tough one because like. Every time teams set a screen, we don't look like we fight over it enough or like aggressively enough. So I think fighting over the screens is important, but it's the closeouts for me. Or maybe we apply some zone defense or try something a little bit different. So I think Claxton needs to play more than 12 minutes. I think that's also a huge part of it because like those you can afford to switch if Claxton is playing because well, he can guard the perimeter a lot better. 42 points we conceded, man. Like, I mean, yeah, what can you say, though, about Cam Thomas, dude? Cam T and Mikal's chemistry will improve as the season goes on. Well, yeah, they really haven't played enough. And when Cam was playing, he was playing with the starting 5. Yeah, he was sharing the floor with Mikal. So it's a tough one, man. I don't really know. Like, it should just be a fact that the Hornets aren't going to sustain this, but I can totally see Rozier going off for another 30 points. I can totally see it. Let me know your thoughts, though, in the chat and what you think about this first half thus far. I mean, the upside is we're playing the Hornets, and there's probably, like, light at the end of the tunnel. I mean, we're playing the Hornets. They should not be scoring another 74 points in the second half. Granted, I don't think what we're doing is sustainable, but that being said, Cam Thomas has scored 17 on return in 12 minutes. He's coming off the bench, and he's playing a minutes restriction, and he's already nearly at his season average for points. And it's not a shit season average. It's 27 points a game. So, should I bet Nets Hornets? Well, it really depends what you're doing with that. Really depends what you're going with. Oh, 72. No, it's not. 71, 73. It's because the hotkey for the hotkey to change the scoreboard is control, and I think I click control a fair bit on my keyboard. So it's 71, 73 at the half. Yeah, it really depends what legs you're looking at doing if you want to bet. But I'm not a bettor, so I'm not probably the guy to endorse or anything of the sort. If you are enjoying the stream, make sure to show your support and drop a like on it and subscribe as well. We've got some good support recently. Obviously, I want the community to grow as much as we can, so if you want to share it around as well, and let other Nets fans know about this, because I'm sure there's quite a few Nets fans who probably want to chat with other communities. There already is tons of it on the internet, but if this is a good little watch party, I do think. Well, you guys seem to come back every stream, so it's good that we're getting some repetitiveness with the people in the chat. It's good to see the regulars. So if you are new, make sure to introduce yourself as well, because yeah, I mean, it's good to see the regulars, and it's a nice positive vibe in the chat. I mean, we've got less people than we did in streams last year, and understandably so, because less eyes on this team, but I think there'll be a few more eyes on it once Cam Thomas decides to start scoring 40 pieces like there's no tomorrow. So am I still allowed to use the expression giddy up, or is that too offensive now? Well, it depends. If you're referring to Josh Giddey, well, then it's probably a little bit of a question mark. Yeah, that's a pretty awful situation, the way that's all transpired as well. Got everything in the world. Yeah. You know what I'm gonna do? At some point, I think I'm gonna make a video on Cam Thomas, but it's gonna be the video that no one will talk about. Cam Thomas, every time I see a Cam Thomas video on YouTube, it is revolving around his offense. And that is probably one of the most shallow ways you can look at it, because you look points, 27 a game. All right, he's a gifted scorer. Let's have a look at the ways he scores. Ton of difficult shots, contested in your face, deep mid-ranges, sometimes threes, good efficiency. Like, there's nothing that talks about his defensive improvement, because last year he was a borderline liability. This year, you can say that he's actually probably not the worst defender on the floor. He's not clearly the number one worst defender in a starting or in a five-man team. So yeah, I think I may do a video down the line, which talks a little bit about that. I think we need to see a bit of a larger sample size. I think I was going to make one before he got injured, and then obviously he got injured. So yeah, that's the situation. If you want to see the Nets box score again, let me know. But otherwise, we'll just sit it here. Yeah, but this game is absolutely one we need to win, because they don't have Lamelo, they don't have Brandon Miller. It is well and truly there for the taking, and you've conceded 73 points and a half. You're shooting the ball well. This would be another wasted offensive performance. Yeah, this would be a wasted performance if we somehow lose this. It's like the Hawks game, where we shipped off 145 to a fatigued, or 147 to a fatigued Hornets team who were shooting the ball inefficiently, but just kept giving away offensive rebounds and the sort. So, yeah. Damn, we got a 3-day break after the Orlando game. So, yeah. I would really like you to make an Xmas reel of you flexing, slagging Royce, yelling, "Where's the foul?" Well, the only issue is that I'd have to go through hours and hours to find the stuff. Find the key moments. We return, and the five that started the game are starting the quarter. It's Johnson into the paint, and he was blocked. Johnson chased it up, missed it. Claxton, the offensive board. Finney-Smith catch and shoot three. It's good. We start the second half with a three. We retake the lead, and that's a good response after a miss. Well, a block by Hayward and then a miss. McGowan's on the wing. Rozier. Defense, that's way too open. Rozier, I mean, he shot a deep two, so you live with those. And now Bridges will pass to Finney-Smith. He's open again. One more for Dinwiddie in the corner, right in front of the Nets bench. It's off. Rebound by Claxton nearly. Hornets swoop on a loose ball, and now it's Rozier looking for Williams, who had Dinwiddie on him in the paint. They haven't gotten it there, though. And now it's Bridges v. Bridges. Claxton with the block. Rebound by Claxton. So good help defense by Clax. Fakes the handoff into the paint. What a move! Oh, dude, he is so smooth. I've really got to learn the full song of Smooth Operator because, man, wow, McGowan's just hitting threes like he's Steph Curry, dude. Mate, he's just like, he has nearly hit every three-pointer he's made. If not, he has. Johnson, Dinwiddie, Bridges, cross. Shoots a two. It's off. Claxton there with the follow. And Claxton has been heavily involved in the opening minutes of this second half. I mean, he's already got like 6 points. He's got a block. Doing a bit of everything. Bridges, it's another three. And these guys can't miss. At this point, you've just got to put a hand in the face, man. You got to run him off the line. Like, face guard him. Bridges, layup. Blew the layup. He's done that enough times this season. Way too many times. Rozier, the acceleration. He went too fast for his own liking. And it's going to go... It's going to go the way of the Hornets. So it was off Net's hands as they were getting that rebound. Don't even ask me how that's occurred. But it will be the Hornets who resume from the baseline. Hayward will look for Bridges under the basket. They get it to Rozier. Down the middle. Shoots over Claxton. Too easy. Too easy. Mikal's got to improve big time in that regard, man. He's just allowed Rozier to get open on way too many occasions. It would be interesting to see what a Dennis Smith Jr. could do with this issue that Rozier is. Dinwiddie sent it up. That's good defense. Oh my goodness. Great defense by Williams, but Claxton just finds ways to score. I think he's nearly scored every point in this second half for the Nets thus far. Bridges, good screen by Williams. Finney-Smith was trailing, but he recovered well. And now Rozier, top of the key, will drive on Bridges. He stays with him. Good defense. There is nothing you can do about that. Nothing you can do about that. That's better defense by Mikal. I will live with that. It's a mid-range as well. Finney-Smith thought about the three. Claxton again attacking that matchup. He missed it. Claxton, that's a foul on Williams, and it remains here. Claxton has been huge in this second half. I don't know what the numbers were for him at halftime, but he has done an absolute crap ton in this second half. I reckon he's already outscored his point total, and I reckon he's definitely had more impact in like 4 minutes than he did probably the entirety of the first half. I think we need to give him more paint touches because you're seeing the impact. Johnson, Bridges catch and shoot three. It's good. Top of the key. We're tied at 83. And we're only 4 minutes into the third quarter. Can we actually play some defense, dude? Bridges just lost the ball, but he was able to recover it. Rozier, corner for Hayward. Oh my God, he nearly got it to go again. Oh, you're kidding. That is the same call that Dinwiddie did not get in the first half. Well, Dinwiddie did get the call, but they didn't call it a shooting foul. They called it a foul on the floor. And then all of a sudden, the double standards kick in. Ridiculous. Wouldn't have to look far to find those moments. You do them every game. Yeah, that's a good point. You've got me there. Hayward gets the bounce. It rattles in. All right, so 84-83. Dayron is already in. I don't understand what the fuck JV is thinking here. Mate, he's scored like 10 points in the second half already, and you've taken him to the bench. He does not run the hot hand. He just sticks by his rotations and doesn't adjust accordingly to a game situation. It's pretty ridiculous. Dinwiddie looking for Johnson. They give it to Dayron instead, who's also going to attack Williams, and he gets the flip. So Williams is just... He is a turnstile at the moment. That was a travel, dude. Bro, what the fuck? That was a travel and a half. 1, 2, 3, 4. Bro, that travel is huge, mate. He went to fucking... He went to Australia and back. Man. Rozier to Hayward. Johnson trying to fight through the screen. Hayward shoots the baseline. J, it's off. Rebound, Finney-Smith. That seems like the first stop we've had in ages. Dinwiddie will push. No look to Finney-Smith. Rhythm 3. It's good. That Dallas connection coming to life again. The Nets have the lead back. 7 minutes to play. We are witnessing a shootout. Rozier. High screen Williams. Maneuvers through. Kick out to Hayward. Had Dinwiddie in the air. And now McGowan's the 3. That's good as well, man. Who is this nobody scoring threes, dude? He's hit like 5 of them. I can't believe this, man. McGowan's. Who is that guy? Bridges. Double comes. Dayron. They're playing a bit of zone. Kick out to Johnson. Right in front of the net bench. It's off. Finney-Smith the rebound. He tripped over. And Bridges was there to put it up and in. But we're going to see a timeout instead. At the 6:20 mark of the third quarter, it is 88 apiece. And it is, well, this is a very, very, very interesting match right here. Very, 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 very interesting match, bro. 88 apiece in 2.5 quarters. I cannot believe it. I cannot believe it. Cam Thomas is leading the way with 17, but Claxton's had a superb second half thus far. He's already got, well, he's doubled his points total. He's had 4 offensive rebounds in the game, a steal and a block. We've got 5 plays in double figures already, which is pretty insane if you think about it. Shooting the ball crazily. Free throws are actually worse, nearly worse off than our field goal percentage. The turnovers, we haven't turned it over this quarter, which is a good sign, but the Hornets also haven't turned it over. Our offensive rebounds have lifted in this quarter. We've already had 5 of them. And that's why we've gotten the lead down. Yeah. And I mean, we were down rebounds by 6 at the half after having a pretty even first quarter tussle with them in that regard. The Hornets have had, I don't think they've had an offensive rebound in the second half. So that's really helped us out. Hornets are just still shooting it incredibly well, though. Like, this McGowan's bloke has taken 5 shots and he's got 14 points. Crazy. They've got 11 bench points and they've already scored 88 total. 21 to Rozier. Williams is shooting it well. I mean, they're all shooting it at least at 50% or more. And they've only missed, what are they? 7 of 7, 4 of 7. So they are 10 of 14 from their starting 5 from 3. That is nuts. That is nuts. You know what the even crazier thing is? In 24 minutes, Rozier's got 10 dimes. And he has had a lot of the basketball. They've already had 23 assists. They're going to be pushing 35 to 40 at this rate. I don't know what the league best is. But, mate, they're going to be pushing that. I'll tell you what. I'll tell you what. So, yeah. Bro, Dorian Finney-Smith has had an incredibly good game as well. I think that's something that shouldn't be disregarded either. I don't know why he doesn't stick with the hot hand, because he's got his rotations and he sticks by him every time. Finney-Smith, 2 steals, I think 2 blocks, 11 points, 3 threes. Great all-round game by Doe. We can't be trading this guy. We're going to be trading Royce for picks. People are going to trade, or they're going to give up. People are going to give up something for Royce because he's a good asset to have. Nice 3-and-D wing. On an expiring, we can get something for him. Johnson, good closeout. McGowan's. Johnson drive, wraparound pass. Absolutely not there. It was a good collapse by the Hornets. They read it like a book, and now Washington in transition basically airballed the 3. So he's been the only real point of inconsistency from the outside for the Hornets. Dinwiddie into the paint is going to roll Williams back to the outside. Dayron, they look for that pass, and he had the mismatch in Washington on him. Wasn't that much of a mismatch. They did well to rotate off the ball, get Washington there. But unfortunately, it's going to be a foul under the basket. Well, fortunately, but unfortunately, because I would have backed Dayron in every time under the basket. Cam Thomas is back in with Lonnie Walker. That's just, we've got a great point guard rotation, man. Fully fit. We have got a great point guard rotation. You go, wow. That was an attempted blocking foul by Ish Smith on Dayron, but Dayron did well to hold back and just get the floater up, the push shot. So Dayron's got 9, I do believe. So the centers having a good impact in this second half. Hayward, good wraparound. Mid-range is off. Rebound Dinwiddie. We're playing 3 guards at the moment. Mikal is the 4. So interesting shit there. Bridges on the baseline. He scores over Williams and we create a little bit of separation. This is the first time we've had a 2-possession lead in quite some time. So let's see if we can capitalize on this Hornets bench. Somewhat Hornets bench. McGowan's again. That one is off. That's better defense. That's one where you're happy to give it away because it's probably forced if they do shoot it. Walker into the mid-range. Out to Bridges. He drives. Stops. What a move. And that angle was disgustingly poor. The Hornets have the numbers. McGowan. Oh my God, he missed the layup. Hayward was there for the follow. We didn't have enough numbers. So we could have had more separation there with a blown layup, but of course, you can't have nice things always. Cam Thomas in the mid-range. Doesn't contort the body. Walker chases up the rebound after the Cam Thomas miss. We got 9 to shoot. 4 minutes to play. Walker over the top of Ish Smith. He knocks it down. And I mean, Ish Smith is giving up a fair bit of size. So you might as well capitalize on what you've been given. And the Hornets are down 5. It's been a while since we've had a lead like this. Hayward, the mid-range, that's off. Ish Smith with the fucking rebound. Bounce pass to absolutely no one. A turnover for the Hornets. Dinwiddie in transition. Walker, rhythm 3. I would have liked best available shot there. But obviously, if it went down, you're not talking about how good of a shot it was. You're talking about how he made it. So, Ish Smith doesn't use the screen. Gets into the mid-range and bounce passes it to Williams. Back out to Ish Smith. They work it around. One more for Washington on the catch. The 3 hits back iron. The rebound by Washington. Into the paint. Dinwiddie does well, but the foul is on Dayron. He got caught in the air again. That is a professional Dayron foul, but we're starting to see the misses for the Hornets seep in. The problem is, at the moment, we haven't been good enough yet to actually capitalize on it. And right there, like, Dinwiddie nearly got a steal. Like, we forced the miss, but they got a long rebound. Fine margins again. So, Claxton, Watford, 2 players getting ready to return for Dinwiddie and Sharp. The first free throw is good, and we will see the mass changes now. Rozier, Bridges, Thor, all in. The most dangerous minutes are when Rozier and Bridges are in the game, I do feel. I made it. How's Cam Thomas doing? He's doing superbly. I think he's got 17 points in about 14 or 15 minutes of action, so he's been quality. Quality. 3 minutes to play in this quarter. 95-92. Claxton up top. Hand off to Thomas. Pass to Clax on the roll. Bridges is open, top of the key. He fucking airballed it. Jesus Christ. I don't think Mikal, like, when he was playing at the Suns, I don't reckon there were many threes that he was airballing. It seems like he has an airball a game. Box score check. You can see the situation for the Nets here. Let me get Cam Thomas's stats updated. Oh wait, I don't need to do that because he's just the bucket getter. Claxton, excellent quarter, as we've mentioned. Dorian Finney-Smith has had an awesome all-round game. Cam Johnson has not made a shot in this second half. Bridges been inefficient as hell, but we still lead. Cam Thomas is 17 off the bench on great efficiency, and Dayron has 9 and 5, 2 steals, some good minutes from him. But I think it's a bit criminal that Claxton has played the same amount of minutes as Dayron Sharp. Bit criminal. Lonnie Walker's been really good, at least in this second half. He hasn't played too many minutes, but he's been very good in those minutes. So yeah, I think that's the situation at the moment. If you are enjoying, you know what to do. Make sure to drop a like on it and subscribe as well. We are doing a game in a couple of days, so if you want to tune in for that, be sure to do so. And subscribe if you want to stay tuned and get the notifications, all that jazz. And there is a donation button if you'd like. If you'd like to donate for the work I'm doing, then you are more than welcome to. Well, all the money goes back into the channel, so that is another little thing you can do if you want to support. All entirely voluntary, though. We've been good with the turnovers, keeping those down in this quarter, and the rebounding edge. Well, it's very even now. +1 the way of the Hornets, but we've gotten 6 offensive rebounds in the quarter, which is a very good sign. We are the best rebounding team in the league. Crazy to say that. We've had 7 players with 5 or more rebounds per game this season. So, crazy stuff by this Nets lineup who, you know, we're setting a good precedent. We didn't look like we were going to be one of those teams with a good rebounding identity going into the season, but we've well and truly eliminated that narrative. Yeah. Also had 17 consecutive games. This season, we have had 20 assists in every game. The longest streak in franchise history is 24, which was last season. So the first 24 games of last season, we had 20 or more assists, and we've started the season with 20 or more in 17 games. So good shit on that front. We're at 16 tonight. Bridges goes downhill and gets it to go over the top. I feel like Watford he doesn't look as physically able on Bridges. That's Miles, obviously. Walker, I think, got hit, but yeah, he's limping. Oh, he's holding something. Bridges, we've got to get a shot up, and he missed it. It wasn't a good shot. I don't know if Lonnie Walker's done something to his hamstring, because he was holding his hammy. He picked up his dribble and gave it up. Rozier hits another 3. Something has got to be done about this treatment of Rozier. Every fucking possession, he's involved. Every possession. And we have done nothing to make anything more difficult. Thomas, body bump. Layup, he gets the bounce. 97 apiece, not 96. So, Rozier, picked up by Bridges. Looks like Walker's okay. Claxton, good defense on Rozier. That is the presence right there. You knew as soon as that shot was unleashed by Rozier, it was going to be off. Thomas gets rid of Rozier, shoots the mid-range. He will knock those down usually all the time. Watford, open number is Walker in the corner. He's got to hit those. He misses. Claxton, another board. Bridges was open, but there is a foul, and Claxton is the recipient of the potential free throws? I don't think so. So, 97 apiece. We've got a minute or so to play. Cam Thomas will inbound, basically right in front of the Nets bench. Inbounded to Bridges in the post. He's got Smith on him. He's fouled, and he gets it to go. +1. 99-97. And the Nets can be the first team to crack 100. I mean, last game we were talking about the first team to hit 100 points will win the game. In this game, we're probably saying the first to hit 100 115, 120 will win the game because, like, these two teams are on track for at least 130. So 99-97, Bridges at the line for one more. He converts, the Nets crack the ton, and we've still got a minute or so to play in this third quarter. So another 12 minutes after this. Rozier looking for the pass to Bridges, who wrapped around the baseline. He's going to retrieve it in the corner. That is another open three, basically a layup, but surprisingly a miss. So very lucky there. We've got a nice, healthy difference on the shot and game clock. I would actually execute the 2-for-1. Thomas the layup, and he wanted the whistle, but he ain't gonna get it. That'd be too easy. Another scoop to the hoop. Smith down the middle, nearly lost the ball, kicks it out to Thor, swings it across to Washington. One more for Rozier. He's open again, and he hits it again. Why are we surprised? That is the one guy you can't leave open. I would have given Thor the 3, if anything. So they've executed the 2-for-1 superbly there. Thomas again will take on Rozier. Nearly lost the ball. Shot the 2. Created the separation. He scored again. This guy is ridiculous. Bridges down the middle. Oh! What the fuck was that dunk? Watford. Response. Layup. With 0.8. They got to get it in. And I don't think Rozier is going to hurt the efficiency. He's going to shoot it. And it's off. That is the third quarter. It is 106, 102. Bridges put dough on a poster. That was a nasty-ass dunk. 3-quarter time here, and we have a flurry of scoring. Cam Thomas is 23, and he's barely played. He's supposedly on a minutes restriction, but the guy's got 23. Let him cook. Let him cook. He is shooting it lights out. Or not lights out, but he's shooting it at a very good efficiency for the volume of shots he's taking. Bridges also is 20. The team's shooting the ball well. The free throws aren't going down as much as we'd like, but the offensive rebounds in that quarter, 8. 8 offensive rebounds in the third. We've gotten a very good second half so far from Nic Claxton. He's only played 20 minutes, which is actually very criminal. Dayron's played 16. Yeah, I don't want to see Dayron play more than maybe 3 or 4 minutes in this last quarter because Clax needs to push 30 as much as he can. Cam Johnson has only played 18 minutes, which is an interesting watch as well. The other good thing was we only turned it over once. So the Hornets already punishing on a number of possessions. If you give up more possessions to them, we could have been in a much more, well, dreadful place. The good thing is, I guess we gave away less than 30 points in that quarter. The bad thing is we gave up 29, so it's basically 30. We win the rebounding edge. We didn't force turnovers in that quarter. The shooting sort of, well, I'm lying. It hasn't eased off at all. Like, look how well they're shooting the ball. Look how well they're shooting the 3. Rozier's got 27. He is on a tear. And he's also got 11 assists. I'd love to see his usage in this game because it's for him to have those numbers in 28 minutes. I mean, he could have like 40 and 15 or 20 by the end of this. Not really, but he could have 40 and 15. That's actually not a far-fetched thing to say. McGowan's has been good filling the void of Brandon Miller, who's out. Lamelo Ball is also out. They've still scored 102 points in 3 quarters. Bridges has been solid. Mark Williams was getting exposed in that third quarter. He only had 1 rebound. He had 5 offensive boards in the first half. So got to make sure those numbers remain down. Hayward's been, pretty efficient as well. But this is a big last quarter. And I think more important than a lot of people will give credit for. 106-102. And the Hornets will start proceedings in this last quarter with Rozier. That's a good press. How have the Hornets still ended up with it? How? Rozier, alley-oop. Oh my God, that is a perfect lob. We nearly had a steal at half court. Like 3 players had blitzed Nick Smith, and we couldn't get the steal. Oh, God. I mean, that was so clean. What an entertaining game of basketball we have on our hands today. Cam Thomas at the logo. The screen set by Clax. The roll by Clax. The layup by Clax. He is fouled by Bridges, but he will get two at the line. Are the Nets going to cover a -9? I don't really understand that the line. Is that -9 as in they're going to win by under 9 or over 9? Is that what it is? Is that what it means by -9 line? That makes sense. Clax makes the first free throw. You're going to have to educate me on this because I don't do betting at all. How's Cam Johnson doing? He's doing pretty good. He's had much slower or much less productive second half than the first half, but he is in the game now for some really important minutes. Claxton will shoot the second and make, so that's a good sign there. Nets got to win by 9 to cover. They could win. The Hornets have to drop off to, not defensively, offensively, because they've scored 104 already. I can see it being under 6 points if we cannot get stops. Either way. Nick Smith, step back three. Oh! That's an incredibly good bit of shot creation there by Nick Smith. So, it seems like everyone just wants to catch fire today. Cam Thomas stops, plants the pivot foot. That was always off. Claxton gets the rebound. He has been superb in this second half. Through the legs, weaves through, gets it up, misses. Johnson missed the follow. Another rebound for Johnson. We go again. 10 to shoot. Thomas, swing. Johnson, 3 is off. Rebound by the Hornets. They can take the lead back. So we're doing everything right. The shots just aren't falling. Rozier gets by Claxton, but forced into a pass. Nick Smith was open. He's got another 3. Are we going to do something about... I mean, JV constantly talks about the 3s being allowed, you know, in favor of protecting the rim, but this is just out of hand. Johnson lost the ball. Finney Smith ended up with it still. Claxton thought about the mid-range, picked up his dribble, puts it up, and scores. Good composure. 110 apiece. So, 110 apiece, and we have 9.5 minutes to play. This is cooked. Rozier, screen, Washington, bump, mid-range, it's off. I live with that shot every day of the week. Claxton's going to bring it up himself. Give it to Johnson. High screen. Claxton fell over, but it's okay. Finney Smith. Thomas. 3. Over the top. And it's off. That is not the look. I'd like it too. I want the lead back. A lead is valuable. Rozier, 1-on-1 with Claxton. Good defense. Shoots the mid-range. It's off. And I tell you what, every time Claxton is guarding Rozier, results are huge. Thomas just lost the ball, and it's a 4-on-2 fast break. Alley-oop again, and it was a bad pass, but they've ended up with it somehow. Thor through contact, scores for 2. I can't believe this is the score right now. I cannot believe it is the Hornets with 112 points. It's ridiculous, dude. Thomas nearly threw it away. Watford had Thomas open top of the key. Watford was not fouled, and another miss. We got to get stops. We got to get stops. We have got to get stops. Double screen set by the Hornets. Claxton in that switch again. It's now Bridges picked up by Thomas. An open lane to attack. He shoots, and it's good defense by Thomas. Watford with the board. Thomas will push the pace. He will shoot the 3 over Smith. It's good! Woo! That was incredibly girly. I'm not doing that again. That was embarrassing. Rozier. Washington on the wing, the screen and the switch. It's Claxton again guarding. The three over the top is off. What are you doing? Get the fucking rebound. Oh, no. It's off. We are so lucky that three didn't go down. There were 4 players that did not pursue that, and even Nic Claxton didn't even go for it. I think he's just gassed because he's put in some really good, efficient minutes. We usually don't win high-score affairs. I'm nervous. Well, you know what we'll do? This is what we'll do, right? Instead of looking at the box score as it currently stands, I'm just gonna suss something real quick. ESPN. Okay. ESPN. Let's go NBA. I just want to see Brooklyn's okay, so every time we have conceded 120 points, this is what's happened. Lost to the Sixers, lost to the Heat, lost to Boston, lost to Milwaukee, lost to Boston, and then hang on. Lost to Dallas, and the only game we've won where we've conceded 120 or more is against the Hornets. We scored 133 points and we conceded 121. So that was the only game we've won where we've still shipped off 120 points. So percentages are low. But yeah, so the odds are against us, but I have faith in this team. We've scored 113. Look, I don't want to see a Cam Thomas minutes restriction down the stretch. He has got to play nearly every minute. Because he's already pushing 30 and he is coming off the bench with a minutes restriction. Like, I think he is. Undisputed, I think he is the best player on this Nets team now. I think he is. I think there is such thing as a big three on the Nets. Cam Thomas, Bridges, Claxton. I think those are the three key pillars you need to build your team off of. There have been reports Claxton is getting eyed off by other teams, but I think the Nets want him as a part of the future. So we'd be incredibly special to give a guy like him up and not extend him. So 113, 112. What is defense? That is the best three-word phrase to sum up this game. What is defense? Because there hasn't been any of it. Both teams are shooting it well. There's never been a fall-off by either team, really. There hasn't been a bad run of shooting. Even though Mikal's 8 of 19, like, other players have been picking up the slack and making up for those inefficient numbers. So, man, we've got a long way to go. Johnson from the inbounds. That's a great play! Oh! CJ! Put Mark Williams on a poster! Oh my goodness! Hayward. 2 is off in the mid-range. Those were going down in the first half. We're up 3. I'm shell-shocked by that dunk. Dinwiddie, Johnson the wraparound. He lost the ball. Dayron saved it. Back out to Dinwiddie. Bit of a loose pass. Dinwiddie. Oh my God. That was absolutely uncalled for. He's airballed the 3. 6.5 to play. 3-point game. It has been tightly contested every step of the way. Washington goes through. Extra dump pass to Williams. Dayron was there. And he was not hit with the foul. That was a foul. Bridges, he lost the ball. Chased up by Rozier. It's a 2-on-1. Doe. Oh, that's good work by Doe. Rozier faked the pass. He's actually down Rozier. It's a 5-on-4. Bridges to Johnson. Goes baseline. Blocked. Got it back. Scored for 2. What? No, that's a throw. That's a throw. That is an absolute throw by the referees. They've called a tie-up when all he did was block it. He blocked it. He swatted it. Johnson got it back, put it up for 2. That should be 2 points. Where the hell is the tie-up there? He didn't even have his hands on it, and they've called a fucking tie-up. That is an absolute... Like, that is a throw. What a... Mate, that is rubbish. Referees full-on throwing the game there. If that is the turning point for the Hornets, that they need to get the win here, I am livid by that. That is well and truly rubbish. Under no circumstance is that ever. When is that a tie-up? Ever. A tie-up is by... So it's somehow our ball. What? Bridges feeds it to Dayron. Oh. Gee, they fed. So they fed. Yeah, they're going to challenge it. What a frantic set of possessions here. Right, so this is what's happened in the last probably 25 seconds. So Cam Johnson drives at baseline, and then Mark Williams, great rotation across, blocks it. Johnson did have the ball in his possession the whole time. It was knocked away, though. There is no tie-up in that. It was a clean block. They called it a tie-up. So stop the play. Johnson got the 2, but they stopped the play. And then they come to the decision. Nah, it's the Nets ball on the side. So please tell me where our 2 points just went. What even is that call? Now the Hornets are challenging another call because from the inbounds, we fed Dayron, who got a nice switch. Hayward was picking him up under the basket. Williams, yet again, good rotation across. Chase down block, but it was called a foul. So the Hornets are challenging that, hoping they're going to get the benefit of the doubt. I'm just excited. Mate, that Johnson dunk, if you aren't watching the game, post-game, look for the Johnson dunk. That was... Whew. Whew. Wow. We've got 5.5 minutes left, and I'm not really prepared for what's in store, to be quite honest. If you are enjoying, make sure to drop a like on it and subscribe as well. If you're new, we'll be back for Nets Magic in a couple of days. And then next week, I thought there was a break, but there's actually 2 games of Nets basketball next week against the Hawks and the Wizards. Will be covering both of those. So make sure to, if you want to stay notified, go ahead and tune in for those ones as well. We need as many people in the chat as we possibly can get. So obviously, the more people in the chat, the more energy there is, the more good vibes there are. Let's have a look at the final decision by the referees. It's a jump ball. Of fucking course it is. It was a clean block, apparently. So, yeah, I'm Australian, yep. Let's have a look. Yep, he did block him. But isn't there a foul if the follow-through catches Dayron on the arm? Isn't there a foul on the follow-through? Anyway, it's going to be a jump ball. I don't know if Claxton's checking back into the game. It's probably the time to do so, but I think Dayron remains in. He's on Mark Williams in this jump ball. Dude, I cannot believe this. This last minute has been baffling to me. I like the Claxton substitution back in because that verticality is exactly what we need. Nope, they're not going to let him check in, I don't think. Nope. So Claxton's going to have to wait. He is waiting at the scorer's table. It's Sharp in the jump ball. And Dayron wins it. What the hell is going on? Refs, get a grip. Steve Clifford is in the shits, man. You can hear him on the court mics. They wanted a re-jump and they've won the jump ball. That's very similar to the one that was just called back. I don't get it. Finally, play resumes, though. Hayward. Gonna drive it. Running to... Oh, wow. That's a one-legged jumper. And it's down. So, all of a sudden, it's back down to 1. This is going to be a long 5 minutes. Bridges. 1-on-1 with Hayward. He's going to go down the middle. Shoots the 2 on the baseline. It's off. Dayron there. That's got to be Nets ball. Good work, Dayron. Yes. And he will... That'll mark Dayron going to the bench. So a good little bit of work by Dayron there to... Like, he was the solitary number under the basket to their 3. And he's recycled a possession for us. Cam Thomas is back in for the final 5 minutes. I love this inclusion. Cam Thomas shoots the midi, and it misses somehow. Halfway down, so the Hornets can retake the lead here. Hayward, kick out. Bridges 3. It's good. Oh my God. I cannot believe this. Cannot believe this. Cam, find the pass. Dinwiddie goes baseline. Kick out. Finney-Smith right in front of the bench. Yes! Oh, geez. I just murdered the microphone. Rozier. Williams. He moved! Good Clax! Yes! I'm so vocal now. This is absolutely ridiculous. 1 point game. Good stop by Clax. Forced a terrible Williams push shot that was contested. Dinwiddie in the paint. He rolls it back out. He's got 6 to shoot. Hand off to Bridges on the wing. He's going to shoot a 3, isn't he? Nope, he drives. Got by. Layup! Yes! 3-point lead. 3 minutes. 52 seconds to play. And Brooklyn Bridges. Important make there, because the shot clock was winding down. It looked a bit stagnant, but Dinwiddie did well in creating a little bit of a dynamic offense with that handoff late in the shot clock. So... Okay. We are going to be very vocal in the last 3 and a bit minutes because, mate, it's the fucking Hornets. Like, we got to win this. If we don't win this, I am about to throw in the towel and call it a day. If you are enjoying, make sure to drop a like on it and subscribe if you'd like to stay notified for any time I go live for a net stream. Believe me, I do them nearly every game. So, yeah, if you want to stay notified, be involved in a little Nets community, go ahead. But, yeah, we are in a very interesting spot now. We lead by 3. If I look at the box score real quick, the Hornets just shooting it like crazy, man. Like crazy. They are under 50%. The Nets have gotten 26 points from Cam Thomas on return. It's pretty hectic. 2 rebounds as well, and a block. So he's had a pretty good game. A very good return game. Excuse me. All right. Here we go. This is important. We get another stop. We get it out to a 2-possession lead, and then I back us in. Rozier, switch. Claxton's on him. I like this again. Rozier picks up his dribble, gets it back. Finney-Smith guards him. Great defense. You cannot do anything about that. He's hit another 3-pointer in the fucking face of the defender. It's a joke. I cannot believe this. 30 for Rozier. Game is tied. Johnson. Swing. Finney-Smith to Johnson. High screen for Claxton. 8 to shoot. Johnson from way downtown. Claxton! Oh, he missed the fucking follow. And now it's a 5-on-4. They fling it ahead. Bridges with a vital hand in. And Dinwiddie will slow things down as we enter the final 3 minutes. Missed opportunity by the Hornets. Dinwiddie, there was space for him. He missed it. Claxton with the board. Dinwiddie gets by the defender. Claxton. That is a turnover. Shit. Shit. Washington, Hayward, bounce pass, Rozier, good move, 3. Can this guy fucking miss a shot, dude? This is a joke, man. Rozier's got 33. I can't believe this. Where is Cam Thomas, man? Why did you bring him in and take him off? We need a shot, man. Mikal. Drive on Hayward. Layup. Johnson, the putback dunk. 1 point game, but we need the lead back, man. We need the lead back. I may actually have to deploy the stop chant, ladies and gents, because we cannot get a stop. It's got like a 97% success rate. Hayward goes baseline, rolls it back around, turn around 2. It's good again. Okay, mate. Next Charlotte possession, stop chant deployed. Bridges. To the corner for Finney Smith. He gives it to Claxton. Back to Bridges. Alley-oop! Yes! Okay, stop chant is getting deployed. Ladies and gents, the stop chant is getting deployed. Stop. 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 Oh, you're kidding me. You are fucking kidding. Rozier is down, though, and it's one of those knee-on-knee contact ones which are absolutely nasty. Bridges is okay. Every time there's knee-on-knee contact, he always seems to leave unscathed. I tell you what, the stop chant did work to an extent. I mean, they didn't get a shot. That is the softest fucking shooting foul to give away in the final 2 minutes. You don't call those at that time of the game, man. So first free throw for Rozier is good. Fuck me. I cannot believe we've conceded this many points to the Hornets, dude. Rozier's missed only 2 of his 9 threes. He's made 7 of 9, 12 of 23 from the field. He's got 34 and 13 assists. Absolutely cracked performance. We've got 75 seconds to get the lead back. Bridges will let it roll. Gets it by half court. Drive. Skip past to Finney Smith. Good closeout. Dinwiddie. 14 to shoot. He's got Rozier on him. 1-on-1. Gonna back down Rozier. Spin. Good move. Got it! Off the window. That's a clutch move. And now the stop chant gets deployed again. Stop. 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 Okay, well, that's the 3% that it doesn't succeed. That is fucking ridiculous. Rozier, dude! I can't believe this. Clax could have not played any better defensive work on Rozier there. He got him to shoot a mid-range 2. Rozier created the separation. He went deep into his bag to find that. Oh my God. Literally nothing can stop him, dude. It's actually fucked. It's crazy, man. We've conceded 129 to the Hornets, dude. And another game where we have shipped off, what was it at three-quarter time? 106, 102? Well, in this last quarter, our offense has just been incredibly stunted. Do we bring Cam Thomas in for offense? We have to. We have to. Where's Royce when we need him? Unironically, I think Royce would have actually made the defense a bit better. Like, that shot embodies the way the game has gone today. That was a difficult shot, and they just found a way. But this game is well and truly not out of reach. We're up 3, or sorry, we're down 3, 39 and a half to play. I got to readjust that. So, come on, lads. Come on, lads. You can't lose to the Hornets, man. You can't lose to the Hornets. Your defense is ass, but come on now. You've scored 126. What is... Okay, I thought it was Watford inbounding. I don't know why I thought that. Got to inbound it. Got to inbound it. Got to inbound it. There it is. Clax, Dinwiddie, high screen. How much seconds are we going to use? Dinwiddie 3. It's off. Why are you shooting threes? Claxton board. Layup. Got it. It's a 1-point game. We have to get a stop. 2-for-1 execution. Have to get a stop. 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 Claxton on Rozier. 7 to shoot. Rozier cross. Cross. Mid-range. 2. Get the board. Stop. Oh my God. We're letting it go. Johnson. 3. Oh, it's off. No. Oh my God. You can't. We lost to the Hornets. Why didn't you call the timeout, JV? Why didn't you call the timeout? Look, I can appreciate the fast break chance, but fam, you had a timeout and you also only needed a 2. You could have drawn anything up to get a 2-pointer. Brother, CJ. That was an open 3, though. I back him in to hit that more often than not, and he just was left. Oh my God, are you kidding me? And you know what? We go back to that sequence where they ruled out the 2 by Johnson because apparently it was a tie-up, but it wasn't. And then that led to a Hornets challenge because they blocked it on the next sequence. They blocked it on the next sequence and it was overturned. So we lost 2 points right there. We lose the game by 1. Let's have a look at the chat and see what's up. Never betting on you again. Mate, you don't know what you're going to get with this team. It's fucking ridiculous, man. We did everything right except the final shot. The final 7 seconds, man, we had time to advance the ball, shoot a 2. Why did you not call a stoppage? I understand running the break. We're very efficient with that, but we could have gotten way better looks than that. We lost to the freaking Hornets. We're that bad. We scored 128 points, but it counts for fucking nothing if you've conceded 129. They didn't have Lamelo, and they didn't have Brandon Miller. Brandon Miller's not even that good, but Lamelo, they're missing him. Fam, we let them score 129 points. What are you doing? JV, man, I don't want to hear another argument about, oh, we want to give up more shots on the perimeter because we're protecting the basket. Fam, look how many points you gave up. This is why I hate this team and the coach. It's such a love-hate relationship. If that 3 gets hit, I'm doing victory laps around my room, probably around my house. And that's pretty embarrassing because we would have beaten the Hornets. But this is even more embarrassing, dude. Coaching, lack of defensive effort, and Dinwiddie chucking random 3s. I don't think it's down to that. Anything, like, it didn't matter what had built up to that moment. We had the stop we needed. The stop chant was successful again. I'm telling you that the percentage of that stop chant is like 95% or more. We got the switch. Claxton had played incredibly good defense on Rozier, forced the miss. We got the rebound. I think we needed a stoppage to get the right half-court set. I think this plays into the JV narrative. We don't play well in the half-court. We play well on the break. And that is why he didn't call the timeout. Bro, I could have won 300 if I bet the Hornets. Mate, yeah, because they wouldn't have been the side going into the game you would have picked. So they would have been doing well. If JV ever comes up with his BS that he doesn't let players play because they don't play defense, I'm going to headbutt him myself. It's so bad. 129 points. We can score 153 points and we will still lose. I've seen it. Well, we did. We conceded 145 against... No, we scored 145 against Atlanta and lost. Last few games, we've been awful at perimeter defense. We give them so much time and space. That is what JV has said regularly. We're willing to give that shot up, the 3. Let's have a look at how bad it was. I actually think it was criminal that... Look, half-court defense is not... Or half-court offense is not our strength. But my guy, so you had a timeout. You also had Cam Thomas on the bench. If there's one guy that can breach the half-court offensive struggles, it is Cam Thomas. He can make shots out of absolutely anything. And I would have backed him in to knock down a mid-range 2 or just find his spot. Or at least attract a double that would have brought an open 3. We had 7 or 6 seconds to shoot it. I have no idea why he let it run. Cam Thomas had a superb game as well. Like, wasted return performance. I just can't believe it, man. We played well. Last quarter, the scoring sort of fell off. We ended with 128 points. Only scored 22 in the last quarter. The first 3 quarters, we had scored 34 or more. That is the definition of needing a player who can break the offensive rut. We had one on our bench. I don't care how many minutes he had played. And, you know, the plan going in would have been for him to play 25 minutes or under. But I said this earlier in the game. You've got to make the adjustment in the middle of the game. If you need someone to score the buckets late, you've got one on your bench. That is gifted. He's not playing to sit on the side. As much as minutes restriction, yeah, whatever. I can't believe it. I can't believe it. We had 14 more shots than them. We had the same amount of free throws, but this is the problem. So 9 turnovers apiece. The rebounds, we had 22 offensive boards and won that edge overall by 11. This is the problem. Look at the 3-point percentage and look at the volume of shots. They had 15 less shots, but off the back of hitting 7 more threes on 58% from downtown, they won the game. 11 less rebounds. The turnovers, I don't even think they had more than 3 turnovers from halftime onwards. Terry Rozier went off for 37 and had 13 dimes in 40 minutes. Not 14, imagine. Bridges had 23. Hayward had 22. We let McGowan's hit 14 points on 7 shots. And look, I mean, we go back down here. We could have done anything. We could have done a simple pick and roll with Claxton and you just send a lob up there. We had time to do anything. Let's have a look. In what world does a coach ever say we are going to give that up? How does somebody in their right mind give up a 3 over a 2? What kind of mentality is that? We have an interior defender in Clax. He deters them by himself. I don't know why we want this rebounding edge, which we got, sure. But if you're going to give up 21 threes on that percentage, you've got to make an adjustment and change things up. It's just not good enough. It's just not good enough. If JV doesn't put the right adjustments in, I'll slap his bald head. JV wanted to prove we can't win without Royce. Royce is missing. There's no scapegoat now. And I personally will own that. I can't say that it was Royce's fault. And yeah, 100%. We had, Clax had an excellent game. 9 offensive rebounds. We should have exploited that more, man. We should have. Mikal, I mean, he needed to shoot more efficiently. One more made field goal and he gets it done. One more layup that isn't blown, we get it done. Cam Johnson had a really good first half. They took him off and he just never got the momentum back. He ended up 6 of 18. And he wasn't the guy that should have taken the right shot or the final shot. He had 6 offensive rebounds, so credit to him, but I would have even rather Dorian Finney-Smith take that final 3. He was on fire today. He was superb. Dinwiddie didn't have the shot selection going for him in this game. He had 8 assists, but I think he needed to drive it on a few more occasions instead of, jacking up a 3. It's like we needed a 2. We didn't need a 3, we needed a 2. I mean, look at them. Shot better than us. 58% from 3 and field goal percentage per mate. Come on, how can we not stop Rosie? It's just one player. There should have been a point we just double teamed him or something. Just anything. Like, not so much the possessions down the stretch, because Claxton, I mean, he was forcing difficult shots down the stretch. Those final few shots, on a good day they'll go down, and on a bad day they won't. And one of those went in. The second one was off. He did everything right on that second defensive possession. That forced the miss. That could have been used to win the game. We need a new coach. We've got good players, but JV has no idea how to bring the best out of him. Well, they've scored 128 points, so that's not the issue. It's the defensive side of the ball. You can't be that bad. Bridges is getting bypassed. Like, Finney-Smith is physical. Claxton is switchable onto basically any player, and we still shipped off 129 points. I mean, Look, it was not on the back of the, it wasn't on the back of the second half. The second half, we only conceded 56 points. It was the first half. The first half where the Hornets were turning the ball over and all sorts. The rebounding was a little bit weird. Like, at that stage of the game, we should have been ahead, but we weren't. And then second half, they had 17 boards to our 34, I think. And we didn't win the game. Staggering. Another 3 players score 20 or more points as well. That's another thing as well, which is ridiculous. Dinwiddie shoots the dumbest shots sometimes. He's also weird with that. He can shoot absolute prayers consistently, but can't score wide open shots. That too, yeah. I mean, that is the Dinwiddie experience. That is the team experience. Play well in some games, play shit in others. Do a good thing one play, then do a shit thing the next. Score a contested 3-pointer, miss a wide open 3-pointer. It's really that simple. I can't wait for the trade deadline. Well, I don't know what's going to happen at the trade deadline. It's very open-ended, I think. I've seen enough. Put Spencer on a trade block or send him to the bench. Well, like, Spencer is one of those players. He is now the scapegoat. Today, he has been the scapegoat because he shot 3 of 9 and 1 of 6 from 3, and he missed a couple bad 3-pointers. But it's not him. It's not the offense. It's not the offense. He only took 9 shots. We had Johnson shoot 18, Mikal shoot 22, Cam shoot 21. So, I mean, you're getting the players that you want to shoot the ball more, shoot the ball more. Dinwiddie had 8 dimes. He only turned the ball over once. He's doing his job as a facilitator. But the problem is defense. That is it. It's a team defense. It's a collective effort, and it is lacking heavily. It's heavily lacking. Heavily. And that's not down to one player. That is down to a group of individuals that are playing the majority of the minutes. Let me just go back to the box score. Sorry. Like, a lot of these guys played 30 or more minutes. Like, I mean, it's their fault. It's not. It's the group of guys that played the majority of minutes in the game for allowing 21 threes. And it's probably defensive scheme at play there, but it's not good enough. Team stats. I think this is an important thing to look at as well. Our defense was supposed to be our anchor, but instead it's our poison. That's a great way to sum it up, I will say. Spencer is good, but he shouldn't be allowed more than 5 shots a game. I think it's got to be within reason. I think if he's taking 11 shots, making 5 of them, I wouldn't complain with that. Would this work if we put Cam Thomas at the point, but let Spencer come off the bench? If Cam wasn't on a minutes restriction, they call a timeout, they close out the game with him on the court. It's that simple. He should not have been playing the final 2 minutes on the bench, even though we were getting the right shots. He has to stop holding the ball for 18 seconds before kicking it out. But man, as you say, defense is almost as bad as the Pistons, Pacers, and Wizards. As I said, it's not an offensive thing. Defensively is the discussion. The fact that we're talking offensively about what certain players are doing with regards to facilitating, I find a bit annoying. We just conceded 129 to the Hornets without Lamelo Ball or Brandon Miller. They were playing rookies that haven't played consistent minutes all season, man. Fast break points, we had 20. So that's decent. That's probably why JV wanted to run the clock down without a timeout. Points off turnovers, very even. Blocks sort of there. I mean, I need to just see this. Points in the paint, we had 66 to 38, and you're telling me we couldn't exploit that. If Cam wasn't on a minutes restriction, JV would have still left him on the bench. I disagree with that. What I see there, how is it possible to lose with 129 points at home? I've not seen the game, but I'm surprised in seeing that. Well, you don't want to see it because it's baffling and it's uncalled for a team with this many good defensive players on their roster, supposedly. Not so good defensively at the moment, though, are they? Let me just look and see. All right, hang on a second. So we're going to just go and check what the... Right, so... Okay, here we go. Second chance points. 31 second chance points off 22 offensive boards. The Hornets at 18 off 13 offensive rebounds. So it's not like we weren't capitalizing, but that's just horrific, man. It is such a terrible... This was... Look, I talked about the Hornets game probably... No, the Hawks game probably being our worst loss of the year. This is the worst loss of the year. This is playing a depleted Hornets roster, shipping off 129 points, and also having the chance to win the game, having your best offensive player on the bench, and not calling a timeout and running it down. Was it the right decision? Potentially. If it worked, and we would have been praising and lauding it, but the problem is it didn't go down, and all of a sudden you can flip it the other way and say, well, where was Cam Thomas? Where was the timeout? Where was the reset? We needed 2 points. Why did we shoot a 3? All these questions. So, yeah. And even, like, driving it, we could have gotten a whistle. You know, there's all sorts of things that could have happened, but we were in pole position the minute they missed that shot, because you could have run out the clock, shot it at the buzzer, or with a couple seconds to spare, potentially made it. We were dominating on the rebounds and the paint points. We could have also, you know, exploited that a little bit, but missed opportunity, man, missed opportunity. So I reckon that's going to do it. Let me just have a look at the chat and see what is left. Royce missed his experience, defense, and body are the reasons Vaughn always gives him minutes, even if he shoots badly. Well, I do think Royce would have probably closed this game out. yeah, I don't know how much of an impact he would have had, but yeah, we were shipping him off for fun. Lonnie or Watford, if they were in the game for that last possession, could be a better chance of winning. Well, even that, like, Watford could have done like a spin move in the post and gotten a push shot. Like, we could have done all sorts with that final possession. Feel like we need to play the rooks more. It's just something about rooks. They give more energy than some vets do, and we need energy on the defensive side. I mean, rookies do also tend to get cooked unless they're really good or they're really lengthy and they've just got that build about them. We lose all composure in the last minute of almost every game. I don't think we lost composure in this game. I just think the wrong decision was made in the final possession. We got the baskets, we got the stops we needed, and if we don't make or if we do make the shot, we're not talking about the shortcomings of JV. We're not talking about the missed shots in the last quarter. We're talking about the fact that we won the game and all the good performances. But instead, we're talking about a missed opportunity and a big missed opportunity. The Hornets, shorthanded, lost. What's the whole point of drafting the rookies if you're not going to play them? Well, they've got a whole career ahead of them. So, I mean, with all these players, we're contending, or not contending, sorry, we're good enough to compete. You don't really want stragglers or players that will hold you back. You don't want that development to sort of stunt your team momentum. But, like, yeah, we don't have our picks, so we don't have an incentive to play rookies like there's no tomorrow, really. We need to understand why always in final possessions things go wrong. We're also unlucky in the refs. The refs, that one call where it was deemed a jump ball instead of an actual 2-point make, and then they call it back and say it's Nets inbound from the side, as if that changes anything. I'm so confused what happened in that 30-second block, why those 2 points weren't counted, and why it just didn't go up the other end and the Hornets could play with it. Like, right now we give up the 7th pick. No, we don't. We don't give up the 7th pick right now. We're 9-9. That is not the 7th best or 7th worst record in the NBA. If we go by league, the worst record, like we are currently 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. We got the 14th worst record in the NBA. So, yeah, I know the refs are bad, but still shouldn't let it come down to a decision from the refs. Keep things in our own hands. It's just like calls like that where it literally doesn't make sense when you look back on it. Like, they've called it was a tie up, even though it was just a block and Johnson held onto it, and then they stopped the play and then made us inbound it from the side. Like, why did they stop the play then in the first place? We should have been far enough ahead that the refs didn't matter. Exactly, though. Exactly. It is as simple as that. But, I mean, you can only take what you get given, and given it's a 129-128 point loss, we're talking about those little moments in the game, the fine margins that separate the two teams, and that was one of those moments. But yeah, it's not down to the referees, it's down to that final play, and the final play we came up empty, so that's going to do it from me. A very eventful stream, and probably one which isn't great. Yeah, it's one which isn't great at all. Very disappointing. But we will wrap this up here. We will be back in 2 days for Nets Magic. Hopefully it's not as heartbreaking as this. But yeah, I mean, there's a long season to go. So these losses are going to happen. This is a very 2018-19 sort of vibe. You know, games like this happened a lot more regularly. We were like, what the fuck were we thinking? We just chuck up a bad shot on the final possession and we're like, Kenny Atkinson, what the hell are you doing? But yeah, that's going to do it from me. This is why alcohol was invented. Well, I'm not a drinker, but yeah, I may actually have to break the drought and start drinking for this specific reason. Stayed up till 4 a.m. for nothing, mate. The dedication from you is, well, mate, I can fully applaud you for that. But yeah, it's gonna go down in the history books as a game where all that, like, it's time you'll never get back. And that's what sport is. That's the thrill of it all. You know, it can give you so much hope and then disappoint you so much more. So yeah, that's gonna do it from me. We will see you back in a couple of days' time. Make sure to stay safe in that time. A Blues supporter that doesn't drink, yeah, I know. Baffling stuff. But yeah, we're gonna wrap it up here. We will see you in a couple of days. Stay safe. Thanks for the support as always. Thanks for the chat messages and the comments. I mean, we can all cope with this loss together. It's not one person that's subjected to it. So, thanks for tuning in, the support, the company as always. You guys make the stream, so it's awesome. But yeah, obviously the result isn't so awesome. So yeah, we'll see you in 48 hours. Thanks for tuning in. We'll catch you then. Bye for now.